Hello and welcome to your August tarot reading. So usually I sort of come in with a, like usually at the top you'll find like last month wasn't it career, relationships and money, and I've also done other kinds of videos, but this time I'm just sort of coming in and letting the cards do their work. So we shall see what happens. So this month I have the normal tarot deck, I have the Moon Oracle deck, and I have a few crystal tarot cards. So what I'm thinking is a few of these, just sort of see what happens when I shuffle. Maybe one of these and one of these. I only have a few of these cards because I actually have the corresponding crystals for these cards. I got a few new crystals, a few new and interesting crystals. So these crystals correspond with these cards, and I thought it'd be nice for you to sort of hold on to a crystal for a little while during your reading. So, as always, pick from 3. So you can be group 1, group 2, or group 3. I advise that you sort of let intuition take the number. Maybe it depends on how you like to do it. Some people like to clear their mind and let a number pop into their head. Some people, sort of take a look at numbers 1, numbers 2, and number 3 in their head, and whichever one sort of speaks more loudly to them, and that's what they will go for. So I'll let you have a few moments now to pick 1, 2, or 3. Don't worry, you're not picking between the decks. Each will get one of each, or a few of each, depending on how it goes. Okay, so group number 1. So we'll pop the other 2 to the side. I'll pop Crystal Tarot here, and then Moon just here actually. And we'll start with our favorite Magic of the Tarot set, or at least my favorite. And we'll see what it pops up for August. So perhaps there's something coming up for you in August that you would like. Something coming up in August for you that you would like more guidance on, or something that's just sort of on your mind, something you've been thinking about doing. So just let the question pop into your head. I'll do another couple shuffles. I usually do 3 card spreads, but we'll see if anything else pops out for you. Nope, it's like 3 cards there, so. I think 3 is it for you. Group 1. put those closer to you, and I will take, so we've got a few in reverse, 2 in reverse and 2 into the right way around, so 2 in upright. So I'll go for this main card. Oh, 2. I'm thinking no. I don't like to take 2 together, it just doesn't feel right. Oh, it did pop out, but it went right back in. See if there's a second card for you. Nope, there's a couple cards there. Nope, just one moon card, and we'll do just one. These are the biggest ones. One crystal tarot card for you. Further, it's a selection of crystals, but we don't want to be too greedy. Top one might have come off, but not quite. I think these guys are not enjoying being separated from their brethren. This guy popped out of the bottom. Okay, pop those over there. And we'll start with our magic of tarot. I'm just moving the other cards so that I can get the book. So for our first card, we have number 2, which is the High Priestess. So what's interesting is, not about the card, but in general, of course these are tarot cards as well, so you might duplicate it, which would be very interesting to see. But we have for you the High Priestess, which is Major Arcana number 2. So we have, her keywords are wisdom, intuition, decisions, secrets, and spirituality. The High Priestess is the female sage, a goddess of knowledge who brings insight, integrity, and wisdom. She is also known as the Papess, the female counterpart of card 5, the Hierophant. Wow. Number 2, she symbolizes duality and the link between the conscious and the unconscious mind, and the earthly and spiritual realms. Her open book represents her learning and the pomegranate fruitfulness. So this is obviously upright. So we have a personal desire for guidance. So is guidance something that you are seeking for August? Personal desire for guidance and knowledge, particularly if you need to make a major decision. Listen to your intuition, yet seek inspiration from older and wiser counsel, male or female. Additional meanings include secrets, the need for privacy, and psychic work. So, which of those resonates best with you? So we have card number 2, which is the 9 of Wands in reverse. So, the 9 of Wands is stress or pressure. You are particularly vulnerable to unreasonable demands which sap your energy. When below par, you are not in the best frame of mind to make decisions. So that's very interesting because that's what card number 2 said, but it's said to seek guidance. So I think that that is something to keep in mind. Resist any cajoling or pleading. Rest and look after your health and finances first. So you're seeking guidance and learning with card, your first card. But then it says, You're not in your best frame of mind to make decisions. So perhaps there's a big decision waiting for you to make this month. And this card says rest, look after your health and finances. And this card is saying to look for guidance. But this card also says don't listen to cajoling or pleading. So make sure when you get guidance, it's not from someone who would benefit from said guidance. Card number 3. So we have the Lovers in reverse, and what I said about some of the cards, the Lovers, when it comes to Crystal Tarot, is rose quartz. So I think you should hold on to this for now. I will give this to you. I'll put it directly underneath you, underneath the tripod. So if you hold on to that rose quartz for the moment, I think that will help you. So we have Lovers in reverse. Number 6. So, relationship difficulties. Oh dear. This is why you need the rose quartz. Weakness and temptation, taking what appears to be an easy option that you could regret in the future. So there you go again about decisions. So don't take the easy option. Lack of commitment and a failure to recognize the true nature of a situation or a relationship. So as I've touched on before in previous readings, relationship, even though this is the Lovers card, doesn't mean a couple relationship. It doesn't mean your partner. It doesn't mean a boyfriend, a girlfriend, the other half, the husband, wife, spouse, whatever. It can mean any relationship. It can mean your sibling, a parent, anything like that. So this doesn't have to mean a romantic relationship. It could just mean a platonic, a familial relationship. So that could be what you're struggling with. It's, perhaps when we said about rest is best, it's maybe that, things are getting a little intense or something in a relationship for you. And that's when something unwise could come, taking an easy option. Maybe it's a heat of the moment sort of option for you, or a heat of the moment decision. So this is really telling you this month that just to be careful and to be mindful. And the 4th card for you is another one that I have the stone for. We have the Star, which in the Crystal Tarot deck is lapis lazuli, and here, an actual star made of lapis lazuli. Trying to make sure you get to see how beautiful it is and not the glare. Isn't it pretty? So I will give this to you as well. So, the Star. So the keywords for the Star are, interesting that you've got 3 major arcana cards, by the way. You have, I'm not focusing. There we go. You have hope, energy, creativity, and guidance. The Star shows a woman by water pouring from 2 pitchers. The stars around her signify imagination and ambition, and the water represents creativity and rebirth. A new start and wonderful new energy and opportunities surround you. So this is actually the card that struggled to come out, and I'm glad that it did come out, because it definitely, these cards were a little bit not quite uplifting or positive. I don't like that in a reading. I think the Star is a very positive and uplifting card. So we have, this is a fortuitous card for those starting out on projects or relationships, as it indicates a brilliant combination of conscious and unconscious creativity. This is shown on the card by water flowing onto the ground and into the pool. On a practical level, it indicates that you are feeling energized emotionally and physically, ready to make your dreams a reality. So, seems to contradict your earlier cards. Some cards sort of work together with each other. Some cards tell a story. It just depends what's happening really, but I think this is sort of tell a story. These three seem to work really well with each other, so be careful when making a decision. Be mindful, like, don't give in to stress, don't make any sort of rash decisions. And then, like, if you can manage to get those three to work in harmony with each other, I understand it is super difficult sometimes, then you can have this wonderful outcome. I think that's sort of, this plus this plus this equals this. That's sort of what I'm taking from this. So let's have your moon card next. So this is Moon in Capricorn. So it says, put aside emotional concerns and focus on achieving or releasing or increasing financial security. So this is again sort of referencing back to your Lover's card, which said, that you would have relationship troubles. So, and also referencing this one, the reverse 9 of Wands, that said that if you sort of rest and focus on your financial situation. So I think that you can definitely, this will definitely make sense to you. I feel like this is something that's just like sprung a light bulb above your head and not something that needs to be explained. I think you'll get this perfectly. I just have that sense. Okay, and we have the moon. So we have the star and the moon, and of course our moon card, the moon in Capricorn. So interestingly, again, another crystal for you. So interestingly also, you have, well this is, sorry, it's selenite, and you also have a star. So you have a star, and the moon. So, the moon. Also, what I liked about, and why I decided to do the crystal tarot as well, is that it tells you a chakra point that you should work on, and the chakra point that is best for the crystal that you have. And the moon, well, you had, of course, the Lovers, which is the heart chakra, and then, but of course that is a different deck completely, so it may not have the same intentions. And then the star is the sacral chakra. So the moon, the crystal selenite, as I said, and your chakra is your third eye or your brow chakra. A feeling of confusion or worry may be blocking your intuition. Now we had the High Priestess card speaking about intuition. The moon draws out your psychic abilities, allowing you to trust your intuition and clear away confusion. Focus your healing energies at your brow chakra, the energy center most connected with your psychic talents. You'll discover hidden mysteries, and new ideas. Also, listen to your dreams and trust your feelings. It may be an emotional time, but it's no good howling at the moon. So again, we had this one that says, yeah, put aside emotional concerns. So emotions are kind of going in the pocket for the month of August for you, group 1. Maybe an emotional time, but it's no good howling at the moon. Some things you just can't change. Acceptance is the better route. Beware of fear is a self-imposed block you don't need and likely to be created by your own confusion and worry. So back to the 9 of Wands in reverse that said about stress and stress getting in your way. The moon can also warn of illusion by others, self-delusion and unrealistic dreams. A romantic relationship can prove tricky too. So, as I said, that doesn't need to be romantic, but perhaps there's a little part that is referring to a romantic relationship. So selenite is named after Selene, the goddess of the moon. Her feminine energies are soft, nurturing and reassuring, and boost your psychic potential. When you release the things holding you back, you will enter a new creative phase. Now remember, the star, one of her key words was creativity. And I said, you sort of go through these things to get to that stage. And that's just what the moon here has told us. So it seems like it may be a little bit of a difficult month for you, group 1. But I'm also sensing that you can get through it, and perhaps this reading and the star and the moon have given you the motivation to get through it, the motivation to keep on pushing forward. And yeah, so just remember your important things, to seek others for guidance, to remember to rest and not to make rash decisions, and then you'll get to that place that you want to be. And remember, the crystals I gave to you were selenite for the moon, lapis lazuli for the star, and rose quartz for the lover. Okay. I hope you have a good August, group 1. Bye. Hello, group 2. So I'm gonna start really quickly, apparently. I hadn't even moved the other cards out of me yet. So it went this way, right? It's kind of sideways, but I do believe it's that way. So I'm just going to shuffle and see how many cards jump out for you. I'm going to try for 3, but then see if any more make themselves known after that. 3 reverse cards in a row. Interesting. Let's see if there's any more. Oh, that was a few. I don't think there's any more for you, group 2. Maybe give the deck a little shuffle around this way, see if that causes anything else to fly out for you. This one. Okay. Pop these cards here just now. And I'll go for a crystal tarot card. a moon card. There we go. Get the sense another one is maybe coming for you. There we go. I could feel it. Feel it. Right. I will start closest to you. Just pop those moon cards there. First of all, we have the Four of Wands in reverse. So, Four of Wands in reverse. This card can mean that you're being cheated of what should rightfully be yours. Others win praise while you are being overlooked. Perhaps this is in a job situation. You could feel that conventional attitudes and tradition block your path to success, but equally, this rigid attitude could be down to you. Interesting. So you're being cheated of what should rightfully be yours. You're being overlooked. I get the feeling you know exactly what this card is about, because that is a very tough feeling when you experience it. So I feel like something maybe we shouldn't really talk about, because I can feel that you feel it. So next one is, so we have the Four of Wands in reverse. Now we have the Four of Swords in reverse. So the Four of Swords, you may be feeling that someone is deliberately isolating you, or that you are being forced to take time away from your career or usual routine. So that really definitely seems like it could be related to the first card, but then it also says, accept the situation and make peace. So when combined with that first card, that's definitely, those are two situations that, you know, perhaps could be the same but could be different, because you feel cheated and overlooked, whereas you feel like you're being isolated. So those cards can go hand in hand. The feeling overlooked and the feeling isolated. Definitely see how those can go hand in hand, but accept the situation and make peace. Perhaps this is my own stubbornness, or I'm feeling your stubbornness, and you're like, but I don't want to make peace with that. I can definitely, that would definitely be me. Don't want to feel overlooked. Don't want to feel deliberately isolated. Why should you make peace with something like this? This is not okay that others make you feel this way. But perhaps it's just saying that these people that are isolating you, these people that are overlooking you, are just not worth the pain or that feeling that you feel when you think about it. So it's best to just look past it. And as much as it may pain you, just try and be the bigger person. I feel hopeful that the rest of the cards will sort of point you in the right direction to just how you can move past this, because it definitely feels like you're holding on to that, and it's something that's really upsetting you, so it's hard to move past. So we have the King of Swords in reverse. So this is a man. Perhaps this is a man that's making you feel this way. And since he is in reverse, he's not the best of men. So, the reversed king is a formidable opponent, cunning, devious, and unafraid to wield his power. His appearance in a reading is a sure warning to remove yourself from a potentially damaging situation. It can indicate fierce opposition to your plans. So I think that's what we have. That seems to be your answer. It's a potentially damaging situation. And already, you know, I said when I drew this card, I could feel that, like, thing in your chest that was just, you know, I didn't want to talk about this card because I knew that it would hurt you. That card spun around. But I feel like this is exactly why you need to move on, because it's potentially damaging to you. Holding on to that, the feelings is potentially damaging, or just that this person is a really awful person. And, you know, it's obviously it says king here, but it doesn't have to be a man. This person that thinks that they're, you know, a ruler, they think that they're so, you know, it says they're cunning, they're devious, and unafraid to wield their power. This is perhaps someone, you know, a woman who is in or feels like she is in a position of power, and so she's unafraid to wield that over you. You know, she's got this sword, she's ready to just bring down over you. But, you know, if you just sort of step away from the line of the sword, she can't hurt you. They can't hurt you. So I feel like that's what's the lesson here. And this card is upright. So hopefully this is a much nicer one than these past three have been. If I get the devil, I swear. Okay, 10 of Swords represents the apex of the suit. So the dramatic ending of an era is predicted. So the ending of this person holding their sword over your head, making you feel like crap. The closure can be related to a relationship or other commitment which can no longer continue. See the reality and be open to the new possibilities that now await you. So this definitely seems like you're cutting something toxic out of your life. Use all of these 10 swords and you're fighting against, you know, 1 sword, 5 swords, and 4 wands. You still have more than what they have. You're better than all of this. You can fight them off by, oh, there are 2 cards here. You can fight them off not by swinging these swords, but sort of, you know, a sword is a defensive weapon too. You can parry the blows. But what's better is that you don't even need these 10 swords depicted. These, you know, once you step away from this situation, there's no need for all these swords. Maybe you're wearing them as an armor, but once you've stepped away from this situation, this thing that makes you feel terrible, this thing that, you know, holding on to it is dangerous, then I think that this is going to be good for you. And I think that you don't need to swing those swords, but it's nice to know that you have that in case this situation or these people come up again. So I'm hoping for a very good crystal to give you. I have a selection here. We have the star. Now the star, a very nice crystal for you indeed. Lapis lazuli. You see just how pretty the lapis lazuli star is. There we go. Isn't she pretty? There we go. You hold on to that for now. Pop it. What is right there for you? heard that it's for your sacral chakra. So sacral, interestingly, represents relationships and gut feelings. So I feel like you may feel like you're being punched in the gut a few too many times with what's been going on, but you're ready to put that past you. So the star is representative of hope and creativity, so definitely a good card for you. Inspiration and creativity are the gifts of the star. You're intuitive, finding unique answers to problems. Water symbolizes the flow of energy, so go with the flow wherever it takes you. So I sort of, that popped an image into my head of once you've sort of escaped these things. Again, so group 1 actually had what I thought was the 3 things added together made the 3rd card. So again, I'm seeing a journey with these 3 cards to their 4th card. I'm sorry, so they had the first 2 cards made the 4th card. So I'm sensing that as a journey, and then this. And then I sort of, when it says to go with the flow, it popped into my head that you're flowing away from these problems. You're just sort of, now that you've escaped all of the, you know, the swords and the toxicity, you're just sort of a person on a boat, like just sort of cruising down a river. Just the water's taking you to a nice place, and you've just learned to sort of go with the flow, as it says, but enjoy the ride as well. Enjoy the journey, the peacefulness. That's what I envisioned when I read that sentence. So, water also represents emotion, and in this way the star is both a guide and a warning for you. Don't let others' emotions interfere with your actions and keep calm. So definitely something that's rang true through this entire reading. Danger is represented by all the imagery in the card. The 8 pointed stars suggest a spiritual warrior, creative and inspiring, starlight illuminating darkness. Stars bursting above the maiden's head are a sure sign that going with the flow makes magic appear all around you. Just as I sort of had that image earlier, just, you know, chilling, taking time for you, just stepping away from, you know, the bad will make magic appear. Renewal and regeneration are to come in terms of ideas or the physical body. This card's linked to the sacral chakra, suggests you focus your energy in one direction. If things are not flowing, this is the moment to focus, meditate, and see the reason for your stagnation. I'll give you a clue, it's these 3 cards here. So lapis lazuli will help you find solutions now. It helps you organize and brings vitality, wisdom, and creativity to your endeavors. Placing it under your pillow at night will provide the answers in your dreams. So that was a nice crystal card for you. So we also have full moon. So take time to relax, recharge, and replenish your inner strength. If that isn't just what we were talking about. We also have moon in Aquarius. So the star sign associated with the star is Aquarius because of the jug and the woman. So that's very interesting that we've got this one too. The time is ripe for celebrating life. Make the most of parties, gatherings, and other social opportunities, as long as the king is not there. And our last one, which was our sort of hidden one, I think, is Moon in Cancer. Spend time with family or helping others. Avoid situations that can be a drain on your emotions. So just as we've been talking about. So I feel like this is kind of being a bit of an emotional reading for you. At least I'm feeling a little bit drained after, you know, after reading about or after the reading, particularly these first three, but I definitely think that your reading gets turned around and you learn to sort of, you know, you step away, you wear these swords as protective armor, and you know, you have good things coming, you have the creativity. You know that now stepping away from this is stepping away from a situation that's just not good for you. And learning to just sort of go with the flow and just relax. And honestly, I'm just picturing sort of a canoe going along, maybe even like on holiday, going on a lazy river and just enjoying the ride. That's just what I'm envisioning when I'm thinking of the story here. So I hope that you enjoyed your reading, and I wish you the very best over the month of August. Bye. Hello, group 3. Just going through all these actually to the side, just so that I can shuffle your cards. So I'm thinking 4 cards for you. It's been 4 cards for the other 2 groups, so I think those were way too many. I think that is a good number for you. This one just wants to come out to play. I'll pop that one back in because when you see a card, I think it's also it didn't flip the right way, so I don't like that card for you. This one, however. Okay. And then I'll grab Crystal Tarot card for you. These ones have been more tricky for me today. There we go. Not so tricky for you. And a Moon Oracle card. So maybe more than one Moon Oracle card, we shall see. I seem to have left space for a third, so let's see. There we go. It was taking its time, but I was just beginning to second guess myself, and then it popped right out. So we have the same pattern as group number 1, actually, with the 2 reversed on the edge and the 2 upright in the middle. Actually, no, they were the other way around. It's almost the same. Oop. The problem with having a bare table is the cards keep spinning. So, you have the 10 of Swords in reverse. So, 10 of Swords in reverse. Manage this difficult situation in the most positive way you can. This trial is almost over. So perhaps you're going through something difficult just now. Bringing a sense of release. So this trial is almost over. Bringing a sense of release. Resist the temptation to thrive on false hope to protect yourself from the truth. Acceptance invites a faster pace of change. So you're going through something a little bit difficult. I mean, I feel sort of what's on everyone's plate at the minute is a little bit difficult. So manage it in the most positive way that you can. Perhaps you're normally a positive person and this situation has maybe drained that a little out of you, or, you know, current circumstances have drained that out of you a little bit, but that's what I'm getting anyway. I'm getting that you're normally a positive person, or at least someone that can see the positive in all things. You can see the silver linings, but maybe perhaps this time you're seeing, all you're seeing is grey cloud. But it says to manage it in the most positive way that you can. So also to be accepting of whatever it is that's happening. So it's kind of a rough one to start out with. I'm sorry about that. So we have the Four of Wands in the upright position. So the Four of Wands, reaping creative reward for innovative pursuits and consolidation of your achievements. This card foretells a broadening and enjoyment of your lifestyle. So it can indicate romance, commitment, and putting down roots. Socially, you enjoy the company of friends and family. So we have your tough time you're going through, but it seems like, you know, this card seems, the link seems to be telling me that this sort of doesn't last forever, and that maybe, you know, it sort of seems to be a bit of a downer about the situation, but maybe it actually does turn out all right, and then you do reap the rewards, because it does say about reaping creative reward for innovative pursuits. Or maybe even the opposite. This tough situation, you accept the truth, and then you just sort of maybe chuck it in the fuck it bucket. It's a favourite saying. Hopefully that doesn't get the video flagged or anything. But yeah, you just sort of chuck it in the bucket for just now, and then you move on to something else. And the something else is something absolutely like way better than the first thing, you know? So it's like, without that failure or that tough thing, without this particular event happening, you wouldn't have managed to achieve this. So I think that's maybe a good thing. So your third card is the Empress. Card number 3, the Empress. Fertility, maybe something that you're not wanting to hear, or maybe something that you absolutely are. Fertility, harmony, love, abundance, productivity. So we have productivity sort of flings back to what's happened in 1 and 2. So the Empress represents productivity, fertility, and maternal care. She's the ultimate maternity symbol, epitomized by the apple tree and a protector of nature and the earth, which she shields. The Empress heralds material and domestic comfort, security and protection, the traditionally positive associations of motherhood. Now, this doesn't mean a child is going to pop in your mind. You're not Athena, or Zeus rather, who sprung Athena from his head. This doesn't mean that a child is going to pop into your life. This could mean a dog, a cat. This could mean, you know, the child of someone else. You know, you don't just have to be a parent to a child that is biologically yours. You have many different kinds. Hey, it could even be a new house plant. It's, you know, parenthood is sort of whatever you decide to be a parent of. It does not mean a baby. It may mean a baby. If so, then awesome. This is a good card for those with financial problems, as it indicates abundance on both a material and emotional level. The Empress can show the positive influence of a mother figure, or predict pregnancy and progress in creative product. So again, it doesn't mean you're gonna fall pregnant, even though it does suggest that positive influence of a mother figure or progress in creative projects also. Now our last card is reverse the lovers. So yeah, perhaps it's not to do with relationships. So the lovers card is represented by rose quartz. That is in the crystal tarot deck, which you have, so it'd be interesting if this was also the lovers, but I will give you this little almost heart-shaped rose quartz to hold on to for just now while we read about the reverse lovers. So this could mean a problem in a relationship, but it doesn't necessarily mean a romantic relationship. So weakness and temptation, taking what appears to be an easy option that you could regret in the future, lack of commitment, and a failure to recognize the true nature of a situation or relationship. So we've sort of had, as we have like ups and downs in, you know, and you've had ups and downs in your reading, but we've had, you know, two ups and two downs. Yeah, I guess. Or two downs because they're reversed and two ups. Upright. Yeah, so this seems to sort of be the way of your reading. The past two readings have sort of been these three helped to make this happen, but this sort of seems to show a very turbulent, perhaps, August for you, but you know, it shows really good things, and I wouldn't say necessarily it shows bad things, but it shows difficulties, perhaps, so things that you need to work on, things that you need to be mindful of. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. Now what? Oh, she has rainbow fluorite. So I have a rainbow fluorite here. Let me just grab rainbow fluorite. Now this does have a very sparkly part in it, which is probably difficult to see right now, but oh no, I think that was just yeah, it's very, very lovely stone. So I'll let you hold on to this for just now. And now the Queen of Pentacles. So we've had, you know, very female figures. Now this one in your reading. So the chakra that the rainbow fluorite and this card is associated with is your third eye or your brow chakra. So your family and close friends are important right now. So we had that in Four of Wands, I believe. And nurture is the key word for you, whether it is giving or receiving. We had that in the Empress. You're an essential person, so perhaps the lovers. And you need to be aware of and express your feelings. So maybe throwing back to how you need to be more positive. Your first card, the reverse 10 of Swords. There may be complex issues in front of you. Again, the first card. But you don't need to overcomplicate them. Take time to consider your options. Rainbow fluorite will help you focus your mind on any complex thoughts and expand your physical senses and sensuality. Focus on your brow chakra to enhance your intellect and intuition. Both will help you now. It might be a wise moment to invest in a new project. So we had that with the Four of Swords, that have Wands, that something was going to be, you're going to have a project come to fruition. So that's a very interesting one. We have our two Moon Oracle cards. We have Moon in Cancer. So spend time with family. Interesting. Or helping others. It keeps shaking. Avoid situations that can be a drain on your emotions. Again, referencing the reading you've already had, and I like when, you know, an oracle card, I feel sometimes is to bring in a new message, but I feel most often it's being to back up what you've already found out. Moon in Libra. Avoid making serious decisions and instead focus on creating harmony within your relationships. So again, we have relationship. It's just sort of being all about strengthening sort of relationships and things coming to fruition when that happens. And just, you know, there are a couple of hiccups in your month, but mostly positive, and mostly, you know, it seems to be saying, never mind these things. Maybe be mindful of making it and, you know, taking the easy choice, or, you know, be a little more positive, and just, again, practice mindfulness. So I think that wraps up your reading quite nicely. So I hope you have a great August.